Hi, this is Alejandra. Thank you so much for coming to check out this video. Um, if you have seen other videos, I so appreciate you watching them. And if you're new, welcome. It's really nice to have you here. I have been having a lot of difficulty in filming this new video. And I've been, at first extremely frustrated, like, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? Why can't I make this video? And then when this epiphany happened, it's like, Alejandra, you're talking about grief and the loss of your brother and your mother's journey to reconnect with his soul. So yeah, why did I think it would be an easy one to film, right? It's been extremely challenging. And it's funny because I had set a date. I thought, today when I finish, I had a retreat, an online retreat that went till 4 o'clock, and then I had a client coaching call right after that, and then I thought, then I'm going to do the video. And it's funny the way spirit works. I'm just consistently surprised and grateful, because the beginning of the retreat online today, the speaker shared a story about her having difficulty with her brother. And I immediately felt like, this is a good sign. I think today's the day. I think the message is going to get out today. And then on the call, my last, to-do thing for the day, the client shared a story about her and her brother. And I thought, okay, my brother is fully present, fully here, supporting me, and I'm going to get through this. So that's where we're going to start. Let me show you first this book, The Open Heart Club Grief Journal, From Grieving to Living Again After the Loss of a Child, by Christine Madrid Valenzuela. That is my mamita. And this is her opus. Mom, I don't want to do the disservice of trying to tell your story. I want people to read it and feel your heart. So I thought I would start off and let you all know about how I heard about it, how I found the news, and things that came up for me around the process. So 2 weeks before my brother passed, I had jumped into this intense transformational workshop. It was a program called WorldWorks, based in Orange County. It's deep shadow work. It's, if you can imagine this, intense training container, where the analogy they love to give is like, you're a fish swimming in your fishbowl your entire life. And what the training can do is take you out and suspend you for just a moment, so that you look in and view the world you're living in, the world you've created. So it was an incredibly powerful experience. And in that first, let's call it level 1, in that first week, one of my breakthrough calls was with my brother. I chose him to connect with. And we had been having some difficulty reconnecting. It had started years before that. But in my call, I remember telling him that I was scared to reconnect with him. I was afraid. He had mental health issues. And I said, even knowing all of that fear, I called myself out and I said, and that's all bullshit, because I am your sister and I love you, and I will totally push through that fear, because I really want to be your friend again. And he received it really well. He received it really, really well. And he went even so far as to say how proud he was of me. and that he just really looked up to me in a lot of ways, and he was really happy for me. And I told him I loved him with all of my heart, and it would be wonderful if he could come to my celebration on Sunday after the level 1 training. And he agreed. He came, and my family was there. I invited a few people, and we went out to a restaurant, and we just had an amazing time. It was so nice to just be in a space, and my heart was like wide open after this training, and I was so grateful. And I think there's like a week break in between, and then the second level of the training starts. And it was on that last day of my celebration. It was still a few hours left in the training, and we were on a break at a mall, like I have a lunch break or something. And that's when I got the call from my dad. And he told me that they were at my brother's apartment and that he had passed. And I remember I was coming down an escalator, and one of the girls in the program, in the training program with me, she saw my face and she was like, what's going on? Why does your face look like that? You know, and I had the phone just like in shock. And I don't quite remember my exact words. I mean, obviously I said something to the effect of my brother passed. And the woman who was my buddy in the training took me outside, and she held me in her arms. And you have to imagine, like, I'm coming off this like intense container of like just, I was totally raw. And in that space, I was so uninhibited that I just allowed myself to scream at the top of my lungs, being held by this beautiful woman. And I remember I was screaming into her chest, and I know she was lovingly holding me. She was crying. I was crying. I can't even imagine what other people must have thought as they were walking by. And Shannon, I just really want to thank you, beautiful sister. That was not an easy thing to do. And to get the full might of my voice and my soul just screaming into your chest. And I honor and I appreciate you, and I will never forget that moment. I got permission to leave the training and miss my celebration. And I got to make it in time to the apartment to be with my mother and my dad, my sister, inside before the ambulance took his body away. And that is where this book begins. I think what I would like to share is how wonderful it is to have my mother back. In many ways, I can understand that I had spiritually bypassed my grieving because of the moment I had shared with my brother like a week before he died. When he passed, even though I screamed and let out all of that shock and pain, there was a part of me that was so grateful for the words I had shared with him just a week before that, to the point where I felt clear. I had no regrets. You know, I love you, I want to reconnect with you, and I'm always going to be here from you. And I'll be here for you. And he telling me, I'm proud of you, I love you, and yes, I want to reconnect with you. Like, I'm understanding now why I spiritually bypassed. And immediately started speaking to his soul when I saw my mother start to shut down and float away. And I was like, Louis, you have to help me with mom. Like, it was like I completely connected to my brother's soul. It was like, all right, if you're over there now, then help me get mom back. Help me get dad back, okay? Because I can't be in this world without them. All right. They don't get to just check out now because you're gone. And my mother's salvation was her journaling. And what is so beautiful about this grief journal is she is like this soul who knows the pain you are speaking of. And she has gone deep down into hell and somehow been able to come out of it on the other side by feeling every single stage of grief and journaling it and writing about it. And when she came out, her heart was even bigger than before. Mom, this book is like, this grief journal is like medicine for the new earth. She had 2 reasons for writing it. Well, the first reason for journaling and going through all of this was she was not going to accept the fact that her son was gone and there was no other way of having a relationship with him again. And no door was closed. She was willing to explore any single way in order to feel him again. And once she found it, she knew that she could write something. And if she could help, she says this, she goes, if I can just help one person in their healing process, then I've done my job. She goes through the stages of grief, and it's a journal. So as the reader follows her through her story, in every stage, she's incredibly vulnerable and present with you. And she shares excerpts from her actual journal entries, so you can see where she was at the time of writing in the stage. And then at the very end of each chapter, she lovingly invites you to write down everything that comes up for you. And in that process of just getting it out, there is so much healing to be found. It's a beautiful story and a miracle, like the miracle of who we are and how death can never separate us, ever, from the people we love, no matter if they are here physically with us or somewhere in the great beyond. And you feel the love of my mother and my brother tag teaming like this journal to bring this out into the world as a co-creation for both of them, from both of them. And it is spectacular. You know, my mom is not a woo-woo person, you know. She's not like me. She's not like, everything like, it's amazing. And of course I believe it. And sure, no, my mom is way more grounded. And, but she is an Aquarius with a very open mind. And she was willing to search everywhere to find that reconnection. And her journey and story is fascinating. And she already has people reaching out to her. People who, one of them lost his parents long time ago, decades ago. This person is now in his 80s. And he was so excited because he said after reading this, something came up for him around healing that he had never seen. And he was excited to go and tell my mom and then his therapist. Huge opportunities for healing is possible. So, Mom, I think the best thing I can do for you is be your cheerleader. Just be your absolute cheerleader. So, in the spirit of that, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to see and witness your mother go through hell, come out on the other side like a phoenix rising, and and have her back with me, right? An even more loving, more beautiful, more authentic self. And it's like we're up on top of the mountain, like Sound of Music. And I am holding her book in my hands and I'm looking at her lovingly and I'm like, the hills are alive with my mother's healing. I'm still going. With words she has written from the deepest part of her soul. Your heart will be blessed with the sound of healing, and you'll sing once more. That's literally the vibration of this book. Okay, so I am telling everybody to go out there and buy it. It is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. My sister, who is also my mother's biggest cheerleader, created a landing page for her. Thanks, Sofa, for that. And, so you have the option. And once you buy it, please, buy it for anyone who has lost a loved one, anyone who is still stuck in their grieving process, anyone who would like to gift it to someone. It is the best medicine ever. And you have no idea how beautiful this story is. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. And and once you buy it, please leave her a review, like on Amazon. I'm not sure what the algorithm and why it's so important, but it's important that it stays like that. I am going to make also a prediction right here. Heard it here first. Mom, I predict that Hay House is going to pick this up. I see it printed in minimum a dozen other languages. And I see you and Louie, like your higher selves, high-fiving each other in the astral because you did it. You freaking did it. And you brought in medicine for a new earth. You brought in medicine for a human consciousness that is evolving, that has a deeper understanding of death, that has an ability to just for a moment peek behind the curtain of mystery and figure something out. Like get a little bit of spiritual truth in here. It is so beautiful. And I know I still have to do my work around this. I read the book, but my emotional body has a lot more grieving to do. So, Mom, I'm going to do these prompts. And I thank you for being able to hold my hand and really see me through it. And Louie, you're just like amazing. I don't even know how much fun you're having right now. Like my brother, just so you know, he like visits me in my spiritual work sometimes, cracking me up, does like the most random things, comes to me in my dreams when I need him. I mean, he's so present. And I love you, Louie. I love you every single day of my life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of you. And, I know you'll be hanging out, waiting for me on the other side when I cross. That's not going to happen for a while, okay? But I am just grateful and I'm in awe of the power of your love, of the power of the soul contract you and Mom have together to birth something like this out into the world. And I hope it heals so many hearts. I'm positive that it will. So, God bless this book. God bless everyone who reads it. God bless all of your loved ones who are waiting for you to reconnect with them. And my mother found the way, and the secret is inside here. So definitely check it out. I also really quickly wanted to share just how meant to be this book was for my mother. Okay. So I came back to the States in 2021 and, everybody, we're coming out of COVID, 2020. And I was like, I think I felt stuck. My mother was like stalling. She had finished the book in 2020, pretty much all of it in 2020. And I was like, we need to do our numerology. And I had this book. And I was like, let's figure out, because every year your personal year changes. Your life path will always be the same number, but you're on a cycle. And so every year, depending on the number of the year, your cycle changes and the focus changes, right? So check this out. So my mom, I said, finish the book in 2020. 2021, I'm doing her numerology, and this is what her year was. It was a personal year 8 for her in 2021. This is what it says. The serenity and reflection of the year 7 is over as you jump headfirst into the world of career, power, and money. If you wrote a book last year, this is the year to promote and sell it. Seriously? We were like, oh my God, how many more signs do you need? Like, Naya was sitting there, my niece, and my mom was like this. It was so funny. And she was like, oh, okay, I gotta find a publisher, I gotta do it, So that really was like the kick in the pants she needed. Thank you to this woman, Susan Friedrich. Thank you so much for writing this book and being spot on with exactly what was in alignment for my mother. So I just thought I would share that because I thought it was hilarious. And to end this video, I end with comedy now, if you didn't know. If you would like to know why, there's a spiritual reason behind it, and you can watch a video that is appropriately titled My Intro to Comedy. It's a great story. There's a wizard involved. So cool. And so I'm supposed to do comedy for my spiritual growth. So I chose a scene from the movie The Three Amigos because they're hilarious. Martin Short, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin. And it's just something from my childhood where I can hear my brother busting up laughing. I can hear him quoting it and me, performing it, and all the cousins and my sister like performing different scenes because it was just so much fun and magical. So even if you don't laugh, my brother is going to laugh and my mother's going to laugh and probably the cousins. But maybe they'll laugh in more like a, I can't believe Hannah's doing this on YouTube, which is also awesome. I'm totally okay with that. So thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel. I promise I'll be more frequent in my posts. And without further ado, I present to you a scene from the movie The Three Amigos. Excuse us, we're not Mexicans, we're from out of town. We were wondering if you could tell us where the best hotel in town is. There's no hotel in this town. Oh, great. No hotels. I could kill someone. Dios mío. Excuse me. You are the, Yes, we are. I didn't think you would. We heard of you. No kidding. I have a message for you. The German says to wait here. Yeah. Well, as long as we've got time to kill, I think I'll order a beer. We don't have no beer, just tequila. What's tequila? It's like beer. Is it fattening? Fattenings? Forget it. If it's light beer, we'll take it. 3 tequilas. Sure, amigos. Enjoy yourselves. Just try not to get into too much troubles, okay? Thank you.
That had an odd taste, didn't it? It's probably watered down.